Fancy.
Fancy. So, everybody, I get to do another live reading where people get to see, so I get really excited. Raven Willow right here, puppies, birds over there in that land. Everybody knows you guys will hear it because they bark and make noises, everything I do. This other side says last name Ferguson, which is technically me too, because that's my cousin. But I do want to clarify we have never actually physically met.
No.
So I, we're close, but I've never like actually been around her. So this was a complete remote viewing, basically, even though I know like her life and like parts of her life, just so everybody knows. So I know this person, but not this information that I got, basically. Yeah. So here we go. And then, Brittany, anytime you're like, whoa, or what, or like, just interject and stop me because I have a tendency to just be like, because I get really excited. So,
Okay.
like, tell me to pump the brakes or, whatever you feel you need
Yeah.
to do. I gotta find your PDF. And I will email you this PDF. I just haven't yet.
Okay, that's fine.
So this is what you're gonna get. And I don't have my book in here, but I hold on to this pine cone when I read
Mhm.
people. Pine cones present themselves to me. I have them everywhere. This one's very special to me. So same thing when I read you and then I write it in my book. I don't do automatic writing because that's where like something else is writing through you. I'm listening to people talking to me and I'm writing it down and then I make it fancy in a PDF so it's not like my chicken scratch writing and you can actually see your reading. You should see my book. It's got like this and X's and okay, that's over there and that connects to like it's crazy. Yeah. Okay. So just your main page. I always do a little bit of numerology. I'm not a I can't do like astrology or anything like that. I had to pay to get my chart read. I looked into it and it's too mathy for me. And I was like, but I do numerology, and you're a number 7, and I have down a little further traits about number 7. But
Okay.
the day that I did your reading was an infinity day. It was a number 8 day, so I put that day on here. That's the day I
Okay.
did the reading, and your reading came really fast. I thought it was going to take me like days. No, it all just was like,
No.
and there it is. It was like, okay, there we go. And then, of course, always pimping my ride. People, if you want to book a session, that's how you get me, psychic empathravenwillow.com. And that's the first page you'll see when you go to my website. And it tells how it works and a little bit about me. And hi, Puffy.
Yeah. She's
He's like,
she
what's
wants to be
going on?
involved.
What's going on? Hi, can you say hi too? Yeah. So this gets into this is where I first started seeing your story and your Akashic records. So I'm watching you write your life. Like you had to be born. You had to be here. I don't even know really the story of Uncle Kenny and your mom and how they met and their like I don't have a freaking
Yeah.
clue. That's my bird. Welcome to the show. Um
To the show.
so I have no idea of that story, but I do know that it was very important that you be born and that, you know, and to my uncle and to this family and, so that we're connected. Like yeah. So
Yeah.
you wrote that in there and then you came and it, Hazel is attached to this, by the way. Oh, sorry. You
Oh.
say her name on TV
Oh, you're
or
fine.
internet. Sorry. Um, but that's why, because she had to be here too. So the two of you
Oh.
are linked together in a thing where you had to be here. So this is the first thing that I saw when I went in to get your Akashic records. So like it's a fight and it's a battle. You're part of this battle to save the earth. Um, it's coming. Um, universal being intervention. You work in the Forest Service. You work with nature. You don't have to be a climate scientist to understand how fucked the Earth is.
Yeah.
Like, no sense in ignoring it. No sense in acting like we're coming back from it because we're not stopping a goddamn thing that we're doing to
Mm-mm.
stop it. So it's done. It's over with. So just brace yourself for the ride. So you're a part of this with me. So here you go, Britt. Oh, yeah, yours came big. I told you it was going to be big. So, any questions yet?
No, not yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think I'm good.
Okay, your cousin's telling you kind of the world's not going to end. It's not going to do like it was before. I know what's going to happen because I'm like a part of it, but like it's going to go into like a stasis, but things are going to be saved because the vibrations are very high and the things that are good need to be saved and the life needs to be saved. So it's not going to be like a total freaking
Yeah.
calamity wipe out like it, like all the great flood stories and that stuff was. So, you know, it's like whatevs. We did this to ourselves. So, like,
Yeah.
why are you gonna bitch about it now? Like you're not even stopping now. So it's like, shut up. Like, get a lawn chair and roast some marshmallows. I don't know. Like, so yeah. So that's I can get more into that story and like your role in it and your daughter's, on a personal level because it's huge. And um I do get into it more here, but like I can't get into it bigger if because it'll start to impact you more. Like you're gonna start to
Okay.
go through like ascension symptoms, just like I am. Like now I'm going into the fifth dimension. So the third is Earth, and then the fourth is like through whatever you want to call it, where people can come and spirits and portals and whatever, and travel through. And
Hmm.
the fifth is where you get into like higher vibration healing places and interaction with a lot of universal beings. And so now, with everything else that's happened in my life, like all of these things are happening too. So, like, there are days where I'm I'm just seriously like, what is going on? Like, my mind is like, da, 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 and I'm like, okay, So, like, just be prepared for weird stuff like that. Pay attention to your body because it's gonna happen. Sorry. It's just like I just got bad news all around. Oh, I know.
Oh
That's
man.
not that's not true. You can get through it. You just have to work with your guides and work with the universe and be like, "Yo, my body's crashing here. Help me," and they'll come
Yeah.
help you. Um. So then here we get into number 7, and this is like I said, I just researched the numerology to get traits and things. This is not from me. This is Googled, but um, mysterious and spiritual, ruled by the planet. And you need to research this, Ketu, because it's very important to your story. Just spray my dogs are being okay. They're ripping stuff out of the bird cage and eating it because they know we're being distracted. Okay. And so research that planet because it's associated with your Akashic records. And that could be
Okay.
something that you could do on your own and like take yourself there and like really dive into it and get your own story. And I think that would be really cool for you.
Yeah.
So, um,
Me.
so it's like creativity and intuition. Um, it could be an unfortunate number, number 7, but it depends on how you want to address those things in your life,
Me. Yeah.
So you can either look at things half full or half empty, basically. So number 7's kind of just like, you got to watch yourself with stuff like that. Just like I'm a number 6 and I'm an empath and a Libra. And so I have to, I have to watch myself with like my bad traits. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to isolation here. Like, ooh, I'm going to Haiti people here. Like, ooh, I have to like watch all of my bad stuff too. So it's just what happens. But
Okay.
more things about seven, and this is definitely you, just from knowing you because I know you.
Okay.
But you are very wise and you have so many gifts. And so that's another reason you're going to start to feel ascension symptoms because now you're talking to me about it and now I'm giving your story. So don't be surprised if you start to feel more anxiety and more off. Plus, it's Mercury retrograde, and that is really messing with me right now. I normally ride these out really good, but with everything that's just gone on in my life, it's not
Yeah.
good. I'm like, screw
Yeah.
you, Mercury retrograde. Yeah. So, yeah, but you have so many gifts and you have so much knowledge within those gifts. And I'll get down to those because I was like, shit. So, yeah. Um, and then careers for number seven, like I looked into different ones. Um, but this is where I had to like really concentrate and figure you out because I was like, she's barely her zodiac sign. Like I think you're on the day it changes, right?
Yeah.
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 So I'm like tipping between these two things and I'm like, she's freaking all elements. Fucking goddamn it. And like trying to sorry. I get frustrated when I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, okay. So I really had to hone in on it because I like, you've got it's nothing is earth within these two signs, right? That you balance between. So I was like, okay, what's the dealio here? And I had to figure it out. So it's because of your universal story and with the earth and with nature and that yours is very much dedicated to the earth side of it. And you, like me, you probably have never tried, but like elementals, I'm talking like go to Ireland elementals, like don't build your house in the
Oh.
path of the fairies elementals, like Native American land elementals, skinwalkers. I work very well with them
Okay.
because of who I am, because I'm connected to nature. You do too, and they are all around you. So you need to be aware of that and you need to not be afraid of them and you need to interact with them and listen to what they want you to do.
Okay.
So they can like I get down to some of them that I saw with you and got like the best Google picture I could find just to give an example. But yeah, they work very well with you because they want to help you protect the land. So even if you were to roll up on like a Native American burial something, I don't know, that nobody knew was there out in the woods in West Virginia. It could happen. There's mounds out there everywhere.
Yeah.
We used to find arrowheads everywhere when I was a kid. Like it's everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's not unheard of, right? Like you would feel it because you're of all your psychic abilities and your hair like you would be on edge and you would feel like I don't belong here. But if you vibe it out for a second and feel what's there first, like always don't ever run, but don't ever let something like come at you or in you, but just stand your ground and vibe it out first. And if even if it was like Native American, you could literally say like they would groove you out and you'd be like, I'm here to help. What can I do?
Yeah.
And you would groove with them. It would be okay. To like, there's a there's a weird place here in where I live out in Duchesne County. It's called Skinwalker Ranch, but the whole area
Oh, yeah.
is the whole area is Skinwalker Ranch, not just Skinwalker Ranch. I've been out there several times. I've seen skinwalkers out there. I've seen the craziest ass shit out there. like
Oh my
like for
goodness.
me to say that I see crazy stuff, that is saying something because I have seen pretty much everything with like this eye, these eyes. Like I'm all like whatevs by this point, but I'm seriously like, but like I gave it respect and I didn't show fear. I was kind of like, "Your land, sir, whatever you
Yeah,
are," and just left it there, and then just did its business. They kind of give you back what you give them. So if you're afraid, it's gonna give you a fear trip. If you're like, I know you're a nature thing, and I know you're coming in and out of portals, and respect, just don't mess with me. I won't mess with you. Then you're cool, you know. So just
yeah,
vibe things out like that. Like I don't want you to be afraid of things, but I don't want you to like put yourself in danger either because
yeah,
you have a lot of abilities. So like just always protect yourself. Always have your guides around you. Always have your angels. Always have that bubble. And don't get into anything naughty. And if you do encounter anything negative, the only way to fight it is literally with a love bomb. You can't get mad. You can't get angry. You can't show aggression. You can't even show fear because that's what it wants. The
yeah.
only way to combat that stuff is with love. So just remember that and you'll be cool. So, moving on down the list of this here earth stuff, you can hear the forest down to the ant, up to the bear. You can hear what the wind tells you, which I can do very well because I'm an air sign and I'm a bird and all kinds of things. And air is like the harder the wind blows, the more comfortable I am. So I do listen to the wind and I can hear it, and you can too. You can hear the trees sing. You can hear what the plants crave when you touch them. Um, you've been around botanical like growing of things like all through like universal past lives. So, and you've used it on in Earth as like you did the whole thing like me. You've been burned as a witch and a healer, and because you were that chick and you knew about plants and you knew you could help. And the next thing you know, dumbasses are killing you. So, you know, you've had those lives just like me too. So, you still have all of those skills with plants. So, when you're out in the forest, you need to start paying a lot more attention to the nature, like the
Okay.
elementals and the wind and the trees like and touch it and listen to it and just be quiet with it and like you will start that's going to help your ascension process go woo, and it'll put you in a really good place too because you're
Yeah.
very connected there. So that's why I had to keep battling back and forth because I'm like, she's like, what, a Scorpio and a Sagittarius? Like, you're
Mhm.
barely a Sagittarius. You're on the day. And I'm like, neither one of these are Earth. Like, this is not making sense. I'm like, I had
Right?
to battle it out. And then I was like, oh, like, past lives. Okay. Like, nope, that's what she was meant to do. Okay. So these are just tips for sevens to thrive better. So you can read through those. Once again, I just Googled it from somebody. This isn't
Okay.
me. This is what some astrologer says about seven. Kierhart. You can Google that and put it in there. Okay. I'm not stealing your information. Kierhart. Okay. So don't let your abilities or your adjustments that come, like become aware of them so that they don't overtake you. So like even if even if you feel like it's just an off day or like you're having a bad day or like don't be afraid to reach out and stay on track because it's important. Like I have to reach out to my people, my circle all the time. Like you need that circle,
Yeah.
Brittany. You got to be in the circle. So be in the circle because I'm like with every things that I'm going through and then all this ascension stuff. I'm like, friends. And like one of them is coming up in the next day or so to like hang out with me and like help me because I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I'm like, I'm dying here, dudes, I'm dying. So bestie rescue coming. So you have to keep yourself in the circle. Don't forget that. Like, doesn't matter. You know my phone number. It doesn't matter how weird it is. Just yeah, I've pretty much seen every supernatural everything ever. Mind boggling. I'm just kind of like, like, whatevs. Okay. Okay. So I found one of your guides, and she came through pretty much like, pay attention to me, bitch. That's, she's very Scottish and very in your face. And so you need to start paying attention to her. Her name is Lilith, but not as in Bible Lilith. She called
Mhm.
herself Lilith of the Garden. So she knew you in those past lives in Scotland when you were a healer, and she's been with you through many lives. She's rode through the universe with you. Like she's that kind of guide. She's a higher vibrating guide, but she can
Yeah.
be with you on Earth if she has to be. So she's an elemental. That's why she can be both places at both times. She can do the portals. That's why she can be everywhere. And she's like, listen to me. So this is the best of what I could find a representation of her. She does not look old to me, but she does blend in with trees.
Okay.
And so I also pulled this tree because she is very much associated with spirals, the tree of life, number 8. You'll start to see patterns like that in the forest if you see like mushrooms growing, and pay attention to the elemental things around you. She's talking to you. So you can work well with all of the elements just because of your past lives and
Mhm.
this life. So use it to your advantage. Um, yeah. So make sure though that they want to work with you before you do, because like
Yeah.
you're good with the earth, but I'm saying like if you want to like go and conquer air, like careful, like
Okay. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
vibe it out first, like air is good for certain things, like certain elements are good for certain things. So the earth is really good
Mm.
for grounding you, right?
Yeah.
Air is very much a cleanser. So, and it also is like an igniter for fire. So, like, my other best friend is a Leo, and like both of us literally thought we were both the biggest bitches ever when we first met each other. We tell each other this all the time. It's hilarious. We were both like, oh, off, man. Like, seriously. And like, she's a Leo, so she's very fiery. And I'm a Libra and I'm air, but I am the heir to her fire. So, like, we're like perfectly, and we've had many, many lives together. So we're just like, we just flow with each other perfectly like that. So if you can find air like that and you can work with it, awesome. But just
Yeah.
like vibe it out like that. Like is this air gonna like impact what I'm trying to do with the earth and with me? Because yeah, there we go. So Lilith in the garden, she's yelling at you. And then I just put another little fairy looking chick there because, elementals. Um, yeah. But you can work with air and fire, but air is tricky for you. That's all I can pick up on air. But you know how to grow plants and help plants. So like you could be walking around, like this is Lilith saying, like she could be walking around the forest touching the trees and the plants, and she would know which ones were sick, and she would know what to do to help it, like if vines were overtaking it or some kind of disease, or like she could feel it, she would know it. So She's
Yeah.
pretty much in your face and gonna stay there. Welcome to Lilith.
Yay.
And then I got into, of course, the rest of your Universal story. Why I chose some weird galactic battle image there, but whatevs. I don't know where that came from. Okay, so your energy has descended down through many universal lives in order to be able to live on Earth, just like me. So, and you've had to live other earthly lives to like be able to adjust to Earth because the universal beings, except for a few nasty closet makers, but they pretty much live a life of like Zen and like we got this, right? Like they there's no drums, there's nothing, like you know. And then
Yeah.
you've got like the troublemakers, so you have to like pretty much put yourself with like horrible situations in order to be able to acclimatize yourself to Earth. And so that's why, like, in your Akashic records, much like mine, I've always been female. So have you.
Mm.
And I've lived horrible lives, like slavery, witchcraft, burning so many times I can't count, like Native American tragedies, like it just goes on and on. But it's like it had to be that way in order for me to be actually be able to live here as a human, because even in my brain, even as a kid, I do not understand humanity. I never have. I've never grooved with it. I still don't. I have a very hard time on Earth. And it's because even as a kid, I've always known I'm not human. Like, I don't think, like, I just, yeah. So you have that too. You have that, like, I know I'm different than all of this. Like,
Yeah.
it's there, you feel it. So now we're going to put the pieces together, hopefully. Yeah. So I got your highest, this is your highest level that I got to for this reading is Octurian. And they are very, they, to a person, to a human, they could come across as like little pricks and like really brash because in their world, like they have risen above emotions. Like they don't have emotion. They've risen above it to like literally complete zen. So they don't like in the noise and all of these things on earth. And so any interaction that I've had with them and talking with them about my lives with them and whatever's whatevs. And then I've actually had them like physically check me out, which was weird. Yeah, thank you. But they are very direct, very to the point, but they care. Like you can tell they're very caring beings,
Yeah.
but they're not going to be like they're just going to get in there and do whatever that is they're supposed to be doing. And they're not going to talk about it and they're not going to like mess around, but they care what they're doing to you, but they're just going to get it done. And they're just going to like if it's a message, there it is. If it's
Okay.
fixing you in some way, then there it is. And
Okay.
okay, then bye. That's kind of what it
Goodbye.
that's kind of what it feels like. And you're like, okay, thanks for stopping. See you
Thanks.
later. I feel much better now. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. So and they're associated and you with a lot of past lives. If you want to dig into your own again, write this down. Ancient Hindu, like the blue people on those
Mhm.
temples, the mandalas, all of that
Yeah.
stuff, that is part of a past life. So if
Okay.
you want to research that one on your own as well as that planet, that will help you get into your own story in Akashic Records. So Yeah, because
Okay.
you can read your own story. You're that powerful. Mhm. And this is the weirdest representation I could find, but I was not in the mood to keep Googling. I know what an eben looks like because I see them all the time. They're like the little short grays that have little paunchy bellies, and they're not as skinny and tall as the grays, but they're kind of like waist high ish to a human. Those are the ebens. And they're just little helpers. They're just awesome. They kind of remind me of just little elementals. They're just little lovers.
Yeah.
They're just I don't know. That's how I describe them. They're just little lovers. Every time they're around, I'm like, what's that? Like I don't know. It's like they just love bomb you. So um, they're always around you. I wouldn't be surprised now if you start seeing them, feeling them. Um, I know you're going to see them in your dreams. If you start to lose time, it's because you're interacting with them. They're there to help you. They're there to help you get ready for the more knowledge that you're going to get. So don't be afraid when you start seeing them in your dreams,
Okay.
especially. You're a dreamer, so they're probably going to show up very often. They probably already are. I know they've been in your garden, like they're in your garden all the time. Somebody's garden, some kind of garden. They're there every night, every night. Yeah. So now you're going to be bugged with them, but it's okay. They're just little love bugs. Um,
Love bugs.
yeah. So they're working on waking you up. So,
Okay.
and Hazel's very aware of them. Very. I don't know what she calls them, but she has a name for them.
Okay.
She sees them. She knows them. She knows the little love bugs. Yeah, she has a name for them. If you try to describe, not show her these pictures, like
Yeah.
describe them more as what I'm telling you they look like, she, she'll be like, oh yeah, kind of like, yeah, she knows. She's got a name for them. They're talking to her all the time. Okay, okay, so you need to learn to call them to you. So I'm talking about any universal being, and I put a link in here, but if you don't subscribe to Gaia, you need to start subscribing to Gaia and watching it
Okay.
because that's very important for anybody on an ascension process. There are things on there that I'm like, what the fuck? And then I had to write my own article and make my own videos because I'm contradicting some dude that I'm on there watching tell my fucking story. And I'm like, uh-huh. So careful with, but
Yes.
there's a lot of awesome stuff on there to like help you ascend and like discover your gifts and like, you know, it's just a really good app. And then there's shows on there with Dr. Stephen Greer, and he's the one that
Hmm.
made the documentary Unacknowledged, and then there's been others after that. He's the one that's ran and kept. It's a very complicated, long story. This poor guy's life, but well, he's actually amazing, but that came out wrong. But uh, if you watch this, you watch some of his videos, you can learn how to call them to you. And it really does work. And I have light shows, like I live up against the mountain right now.
Hmm.
Like I have light shows right here all the time if I want to go call them to me. So you basically throw your energy out there and like put pictures out there with your mind and your energy and like I'm on earth. Like put it
Hmm.
out there. I'm on earth and show them and then bring it closer in and then show them North America, right? And then
Yeah.
bring them closer in and then show them West Virginia and bring them closer in and then show them where you are. And then you'll start if you really like focus on it and like get really good at it, you can have a light show at your house anytime you want. And like and you can start to learn to call them to you to help you and to heal you as well because you're
Yeah.
Octurian like that's the highest order of, well, not real, I can't say that, but like you're a very good healer because you're so, and you were a part of their part of preserving life throughout different wars and different things throughout the universe within ships. And they're kind of like bioships, and they do have plant life, and they do have viruses and bacteriums and whatever's and life. They carry,
Yeah.
so you were a part of that. So it's going to be very good for you to start watching the sky and start learning to call them to you, because they're already
Okay.
there, but you know,
Yeah.
those evens will be showing up in your dreams first. So you always, most people have Palladian in them, and Nordic or Phoenician, like the planet Venus when it was inhabited, um, just because we blend in better with people. So pretty much, I just kind of assume everybody's got some of this mix in them, but they're also, they have their own unique gifts and qualities and traits and things that can make, like, I've written an article you should probably read on my website about different alien races and different things, that ailments that they can have and things that affect them, and
Mhm.
Arcturians you guys got to watch. and
Oh.
and so um yeah, and since I'm a mix of all kinds of them, I have like everything on the list. So yeah, it's fun. So yeah, and then you were, now I'm gonna like have to classify this for people. You were an Atlantean, but once again, like I say, every time I'm online and somebody brings up Atlantis, it is not a singular place where somebody's going to go find some sunken city with whatevers and treasure and whatever. It was a system. It was along the transatlantic uh, ridge and the Atlantic Ocean. It was an entire system that linked the earth together through ley lines. That's why, like, all ancient sites have same imagery. That's why
Mhm.
they all have commonality in how they were built. That's why they all functioned as power places, because they were built on power places. Like the pyramids were actually powerhouses, like literally. Like we had clean, renewable energy. The world was a very technological place. There was a lot of knowledge. And then all of the great flood stories, it wasn't just the Bible with one dude with one ship rescuing a bunch of whatevers. It was a whole bunch of people and universal beings and things trying to flee. Like this is written about in histories throughout the world at the same time frame, right? It was so, it was that thing. Let's get the ships, let's get the things, let's save what we can save. And then at that time though, the world was plunged into darkness. And when I say it went into darkness, it went dark. So, but we had to cut off the knowledge from the humans and the contact and everything, because um, not just the humans, just everything that was going on, it like went awry and people started doing the wrong thing with it. And yeah, so it went, and then all the great flood stuff happened. And then and then we came back and started to rebuild. And then that's why you see like I can talk about Peru because that was one of my past lives. Like you can
Mhm.
see the very, very ancient sites from like this time, where like the rocks are so tightly together you can't even fit a piece of paper in them. And then you can see when people and contact was made again, which they started calling the gods and different things, and built right on top of those sites. And then you can tell the Incan sites because they built differently. but it is
Hmm.
literally right on top of it. That's what they've done in Egypt. That's what they did in Cambodia. Like all the things they just built back on top of these sites in some form or another. Or if it didn't, if it was still there, then it was still there. I don't know. But they know the power spots. So that never went away.
Yeah.
But, you know, then the world was plunged into more darkness with like Christianity. Whatever. We won't go there. Go Christians.
Go
Just saying
Christians.
you have a really bloody, nasty ass history. Just accept it and move on with it. That's what you're going to be. You're going to say you're a Christian, then accept your bloody ass, nasty, dramatic, fucked up the world history, and then move on. Okay. This is a fact. This is a historical fact. Okay. So, one of your past lives on Earth was Mount Vesuvius, but I got that you were not at Pompeii. I was like, no,
Okay.
it was that H, that one with the H. And then I had to Google because my history nerd brain was like, what is that? And I couldn't think of it. So, um, here we go. You were at Herculaneum. So
Oh,
you were on the other side. So
yeah.
you had Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius, but Herculaneum didn't get impacted until a little bit after when mudslides and all of these things started to come down because they were kind of
Yeah.
like across the bay a bit. And so they didn't get that like blast like Pompeii did, but you got trapped in the mudflows.
Mm.
So I put a link here for you that is a
Okay.
really good one about this eruption and how this city was impacted differently than this city. And just for like, once again, like digging into your own story, put that there for you. And it'll start to come to you
Okay.
because you're a gifted girl. And I'm just putting all these challenges to you because I know you can do it. So I'm like, do it because I know that you can. So go fetch those Akashic records, Brittany. Go find it.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Assignments. And then I got that as a Native American, you were a Seminole Indian. And
Okay.
I don't know if you know much about their history. They were in Florida. Um, Lots of intermingling with like African people that came, um, Haitian. Like they were very like you can't really say that the Seminoles were really one race of native like or no, 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 that doesn't sound right. One race of natives. And let's not do that. They took in a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they were it was like a gathering and they took in a lot of people and gave people like sanctuary and so it was kind of a lot more intermingled than a lot of other native cultures. So they probably had a lot more mix in within their DNA, if that makes sense. So that's why
Yeah.
they look differently than other natives do if you look at Seminoles and if you read about their history is so deep and so fascinating. Like, well, history nerd, so that's just me. But like the way that they could move deeper into the swamps to hide themselves if they had to, like the way that they took other people in, especially the slaves. They knew they were in trouble and they gave them sanctuary. Like, I mean, these were a people that were just like doing what they could to help and like survive. And it's like their stories are amazing. So if you
Yeah.
want to like history nerd out, I left you a little link there too. Welcome to my world. I'm always watching documentaries and stuff like, you know, whatevs. So there's some nice lives that you've had on Earth. And I didn't put the burned as a witch one in there because I just was like, you're a herbalist, you're from Scotland, Lilith's all up in your face. Pretty sure you got that by now.
Yup.
Yeah. So here's you and Hazel. So you're linked through time and space. So you had to be here, she had to be here. And of course, because she's just a little starseed girl, I want to read Hazel. Annie P. Shell's getting a motorhome. Maybe I'll make it that far. Keep make
Yay!
if we keep making money and getting readings, we'll make it that far. So hit my ride,
Awesome.
Brittany.
Yes.
And I could like get there and be like, Hazel, come here, you little alien girl, come here. Yeah, she would be so fun to actually read. Woo! But like, she's Octurian too. She's a seer, she's telepathic. Like I say, she's speaking with those evens. She knows they're there. She speaks to spirits, she knows all the universal stuff. Like if you start to talk to her with these kinds of things about these things that I've have listed here,
Yeah.
like she could talk to you about them. So start engaging her about them because she's
Okay.
very aware of them. But I did make a note in here, and you're her parent, and I'm never going to tell somebody how to live their life. But because of who she is, and I understand this is like how you grew up. I'm half hillbilly too, but I can't. I'm not a hunter. I just can't because I'm an animal whisperer. She is too. It is very advisable that you don't take her hunting.
So say I honestly I
It would
haven't
traumatize her.
I don't think she would like it.
So
I honestly
I put that in here. I was like, I'll just put it out there
yeah.
because she's an animal whisperer, just like me. Like I'm like literally you can't see it because I hate it. But above me, there's like a ledge, and I'm surrounded by taxidermy. Like for me to move
Oh,
up here and take care of my mom, I literally had to bring all of these animals to me and be like, I'm so sorry, and just take them in and bring them into like my like goddess squad and just hold
yeah.
them and make peace with them just so I could be up here because I'm like I hate this. I'm like you know like that's gonna be Hazel. So like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be good for her, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for you, kind of got stretched out. Your deer's like, "Ree." um, but she's a whitetail. But you're definitely a doe. But you see your animal a lot out in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you do, but just contemplate it for a moment because it is your spirit animal, even if it is in male form. Like out here, I don't know how hunting works because I just don't care. And
Yeah.
but anyway, I would advise not killing your spirit animal, but
No.
it's your life. You can
Yeah.
contemplate that out.
I was gonna say, like, I haven't been hunting. Well, I went hunting last year, but, I saw one deer, and he was a little tiny spike, and I just said hi and just let him go along his way,
Yeah,
and, I will say lately, it's just been like, "Eh."
yeah. I think
If
it's
if
like
if we need
it's
something to
because
eat, like
you're like your vibrations are rising. Yeah, like yeah, I grew up there.
yeah,
Like I get that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like they hunted to eat. Like
yeah.
I understand. To this day, I cannot stand the taste of any of that, and to this day, I am a veggieholic because of that I'm trying. Like, see, this would be Hazel. My dad and my your uncle would go kill freaking squirrels, and then there's this freaking
Oh.
squirrel with like legs and shit on my plate, and I'm like, you wonder why I'm freaking pretty much a vegetarian?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
like yeah, it's because y'all like. Uh-huh. So
Yeah,
like yeah, that didn't work out too good for me.
yeah. I was gonna say, I haven't, like, actually took a deer in probably about 12 or 13 years,
Yeah, like if they would
because
have at
I haven't
least
had a need to.
well, if they would have like it didn't bother them, but if they would have at least disguised it or like pulled it off the skeleton or something, I'm like, what the like oh I'm like, I don't even know what you men were thinking, but you just
Yeah.
traumatized the crap out of this child. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I think that's why you're kind of like, but like you say,
Yeah.
if you guys need to get some food and you need like you're also very connected to the earth in that way,
Yeah.
and you would go out in nature just like a Native American would and be like, we need to eat. We're asking
Yeah,
for
and I was gonna say
permission.
we're
Will you, they pretty much ask the animal, will you
yeah,
sacrifice yourself for
and
us, and then
there's
that's okay, you know.
yeah, there's always, like, afterwards, you always gotta have, like, that respect
Yeah,
for the animal as
because
well,
it's a life,
and
and you're
yeah,
taking a life, and
yeah,
it deserves respect. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's why I don't like taxidermy, because I'm like, and people laugh at me, like, and I don't even care because you know me. I'm like, I don't care what people think of me, but because like when I was used to have to like go out to work and whatever, like anybody that was a hunter and had like heads and crap on the wall, and I was like, Jeffrey Dahmer used to keep trophies too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Ted Bundy used to keep trophies out in the woods and go back and check them out later.
Oh my goodness.
And they seriously look at me like I'm freaking mental, and I'm like, what? They went out and killed something and kept trophy from it. That's what the crap you
Yes,
did.
trophies.
Like that's how I feel about it, and I just let them know.
Oh my goodness.
So I always have those people that are like, easy bitch, and then they're like, whatever. So I'm just me, and I just put it out there and
Yeah.
whatever. so
Come here. Quit
so
whining. What are you whining
I
about?
got found this picture. I was looking for this one thing that's in specifically in Scotland, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. So this is not what I was looking for. But
Mm,
this is pretty much how Hazel sees, like, she sees everything very vividly, very
yeah.
very clearly, a lot more so than, well, I do now because I keep going up in dimensions, but like she already has it. So like that's why I keep saying that you need to start talking to her about these things, and like, because she's
Yeah.
very aware. Yeah,
What?
very aware.
What?
That's just my pimp my ride page at the end. Thanks. So I kind of dumped a lot on you, like I always dump a lot on people. I don't even know how long I was dumping the story. We're not on the toilet here, folks. We're just talking. Okay. What questions do you
Oh wow. Um,
have? I know. You're like, well, where
yeah,
do I start?
I was gonna say there was a lot of information. Um,
Who's your guide? Who's looking for you? I'm quizzing you. What's your name?
my guide,
What's her name?
Lilith of the Garden.
There you go. Got the Lilith. Yeah. She wants
Nope,
you to
nope,
go
nope,
out there and
no.
start talking to those trees and plants.
Yeah. I was gonna say I already do.
I know, but
So
she's literally like, no, like stop and listen. Like, what does it mean? What does it want? Like, listen to it. Yeah.
yeah.
And what about your universal story? What about the Octurian?
I don't I was gonna say, what is, like, the best way, like, with interacting with them?
Well, you're part
Like
of them, so
yeah,
just ask for the Octurians. Like, will you come and talk to me? Like, just put it out there. Like,
okay.
it's all energy and it's all telepathic. They don't want to hear you talk. If you're noisy, even those even those little even dudes, they'll leave. They don't want.
Yeah,
They like music and they like
okay,
tones, and you can bring them in with tones and music, but they don't like the noise of the earth. So everything is telepathic. So you got to open
okay.
your telepathic abilities. So the best place to start for you is because you're just a dreamer in dreamland. is ask them to come to your dreams before you go to sleep. Even the
Okay.
evens, ask, like, tell them to like, you're ready for them to show up in your dreams. You know they're there. You're like, come talk to me tonight. The little love
Okay.
bombers out in your garden. Yeah, and just start with your dreams because you're a powerful dreamer. Like I have dreams, but I don't have like prophetic dreams or like, well, sometimes I do. Depends. But I don't know. Like I don't have dreams where I remember like people popping into my dreams and visiting me. That doesn't happen in my dreams. I have dreams about like shit that's gonna go down. So
Okay.
like you have the ability, like my other bestie Brenda, she can go into people's dreams. Like I had her go into my mom's dreams when
Yeah.
she was getting really bad to see if we could help her like not be afraid to just go. But she was still
Yeah.
fighting and my mom actually kicked her out. Like she came to her the first time and then she kicked her out. But like you could do that too. So then people hop
Okay.
into your dreams. So like that's why I'm not like, if you start paying attention a lot more to your dreams, that's where you'll be interacting with Cody. That's where you could get all these beings to come to you and get used to it. And then you can ask them, like, okay, well, now I'm comfortable here. So make me more able to just see it every day and not in my dreams. And like keep
Yeah.
raising yourself, right? That just ask anybody to come to your dreams. If you want to talk to your dad, which he's always there, but
Yeah, I was like, he's in
like,
my dreams a lot.
see, people dream hop with you. Like
Yeah.
people can't do that with me because such a I have such a lockdown on my mind. Like I won't even let somebody channel me. Like an Octurian asked to channel me, and I told it no, and I just won't do it. And like hypnosis or some shit like that, like I'm too like, mm-mm. Like I won't let anything. So nobody can dream hop me just because of that. Because I'm just like,
Okay.
no way. Like my mind is mine. Like I'm too locked down for that. So, but oh yeah,
Yeah.
you just get all kinds of visitors. So you would probably be good if just buy a journal and start writing them down, or whatever you do.
Yeah.
I'm a Gen Xer. Everything is about having a pen on a paper.
Well,
Sorry.
I uh I was gonna say whenever Cody first passed away, I wrote down my dreams after that, so like so I would remember them
Yes.
and like what all happened in my dreams after that. No, it was kind of like a therapeutic thing for me as well.
Yeah.
But I as I
You
say,
need to start writing them down because the things that are going to start happening in your dreams and these interactions are very important. So you need to
yeah.
start writing it down. And they're important for Hazel too.
Yeah.
And you do need to start like, what do you see out there? Like just talk to her. Like she totally knows all about, oh gosh, that
Well,
child
okay.
is
So
talking to
like
everybody.
she'll go in her room and she'll play and she'll be in there talking to herself. She'll take the dog, Chase, she'll take her in there with her and she'll in there just be in there talking to the dog and just having a good old time. And one time she came out of the room and she walked up to me and she was like and she just had like beside her and she was like, "This is my family." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, this is my family." And she didn't have nothing with her. The dog was still in the bedroom and I was like, "Okay, Hazel."
See, you should be like, what do they look like? You know, like, what's their
Yeah,
name?
I
What's
didn't
going
think
on
of
here?
that.
Like, because she's just talking about, like, she's got so much universal stuff around her. She's just, like, she even sees, like I said, she sees in brighter colors than we do, too. Like, woo, yeah. So she's not interacting with anything bad,
Yeah.
but she sees and knows a lot. And she's got names for it. Like, she's young, but she can communicate what she's seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you that her top spirit animal she's got a lot. Her totem is really long like mine because she's an animal whisperer. She's a
Yeah.
fox,
I can see that.
a red fox specifically.
I can see that.
Yeah. So very intelligent, very goofy, very just like let's live life. Let's like be the
Yes.
fox. So, but she's got like a totem of animals just like I do because of who she is. So she's got a lot of critters, but that's hers. So yeah,
It's awesome.
I can draw her a little fox and mail it to you. That would be fun. That'll give me something to do. We can draw a picture, fellas. I haven't drawn somebody's spirit animal for a long time, and I'm not even going to attempt yours because, I've had to draw a horse before, and I was just so over it that I was like, if anybody ever shows up as a freaking horse again, no.
No, no more.
And then one of my clients was a wolf. That took for like it just kept looking like a husky, and I was just like, and so that took forever to get it right. So certain animals, and a deer is one of them. I could draw a little shadow deer
A
in the
little shadow
background.
deer.
I could make the
Yeah.
picture really awesome, and then a little shadow deer in the background. Yeah, deer are hard. Their faces, even tattoo artists don't like to tattoo deer. If somebody comes in with deer, they're like, oh hell. Like if they don't have like a stencil for it and it's like somebody has made like some badass deer, they're
Yeah.
seriously like I don't know why. Deer are just hard. They're just hard. So yeah, I'll draw fox for Hazel. That'll be fun. Okay. You've got lots of research to do.
Yes.
And I expect you to do it because we're going to have another one of these conversations. And then I'm going to start making you like do things like read me
Okay.
just to like keep you like going and like flowing and not get out of the loop. You can't get out of the loop, Miss Brittany. Uncle Kenny, I know you're listening. She can't get out of the loop. Mhm. So there. Now you're in the loop. Any questions about Hazel? Any questions about
I don't think
option?
I don't that's well,
Yeah, now it's bigger.
I don't think so. I don't think I have any right now, not that I can think of.
Okay.
But like
Well, you have
the fox
before,
is
of
really
course.
fitting for her. Like it really is.
It just that just like foxes. Like I would love to have, but I would have any. Well, except for a snake. I can't. I like. I know you're a forester, but snakes and me. And I know it's half because of where I grew up in West Virginia, but
Yeah.
me and snakes just like I even have like EMF things that I stick in my lawn to make sure the rattlesnakes and any snakes don't come around, like garter snakes. And then I'll get like mice and I get live traps and I have to drive them down to the park and rescue the mice, like
Yeah.
I I'm like, what is wrong with y'all with snakes? I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. You like, I get you want to be camouflaged, but you back up in this tiny ass thing. You don't let anybody fucking know you're there, and then you get fucking pissed off and kill everybody because nobody knows you're there and almost steps
Yeah.
on you. Like, like at least any other animal in nature gives you some kind of "I'm fucking here." Like, and snakes don't, and they're just there, and you're like, great, like there's a damn snake. Like
Yeah.
I hate them. I just again I don't get along with snakes. My
Oh my
animal
goodness.
whisperer just I've tried and I'm trying and I just can't. It's like you weird creatures. You're just yeah, makes no sense.
It's funny.
And see, it should because I've had past lives with like Aztecs and stuff like that. Like I very much get the like the
Yeah.
legends and the power of the serpent and all of these things. But I'm like, just stay out my yard, man. Just
Stay out of
just
my
just
yard.
just go somebody else's house. Damn rattlesnakes and crap.
Oh my
God,
goodness.
I can't deal. Like, oh, I don't know how you guys live in West Virginia. Like, I don't know how we all didn't die when we were young. Tina, if you're listening to this, like we've been talking, I don't know. Like we were always up in the hills and just touching everything and what, like
Yeah.
I do remember one time Uncle Pat had to come kill a copperhead because it was like right in front of us. But like big bears and bobcat, like we just like I don't know, and the big wheels riding them down the hill and crashing into the house and like seriously, I'm like, why are we not all dead children? Like we were just like set loose out in these like wild woods with
Right?
all these dangerous creatures and like we just didn't even care. We were like,
Yeah.
ah,
I was
so
gonna say, I was
bad.
telling my
Yeah.
mom the other day, cause like, oh, I can't even remember what it was about. During the summertime, we wasn't allowed in the house. It was
Oh
like,
yeah.
no,
No,
you had
no,
to be outside. You was not allowed inside at all.
no, no. And we didn't want to be in like I don't know if you were they were probably no, you don't know that. When Grandma and Grandpa Snyder were alive and living in that house, you
Yeah,
didn't
next
want
door.
to be in the house. They had that wood burning stove burning in
I
summer.
remember that.
Like they were cold all of that. You didn't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah, and I was like, Granny always had a toboggan on.
We have great family stories. Like grandma like we used to tell great grandma and she was so it didn't matter how scrawny or old she got, like and she put up the electric fence and thing around her garden and
Mhm.
whatever and it didn't matter what time of year it was or what the hey and she never wear hearing aids so she couldn't hear anything anybody ever said. She was just yelling all the damn time. So and she would see deer coming out and then getting in the garden and she'd be running for the gun and we're like, dude, you can't just be going out and shoot crap. Like it's not even the damn the damn gun, get in the gun. And we're like, no, 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 no. Like it's just we just had so much fun. Like it people don't realize like when you when you're like really poor and you just have your imagination in nature, like you really don't even understand that you're poor. Like you're just having a good
Yeah.
time. You're just like,
Yeah.
like it's just very it's hard to describe to somebody that doesn't has never like lived that way or because it I think it help like especially it helps your imagination and like don't get
Mhm.
stuck with I don't know. I just think it's a lot better life even if it's like busier there than when like I grew up there, but it's still like
Yeah.
very naturey and
Oh,
very
yeah.
laid back and very, you know, that like kind of lifestyle still. And I think that's much better for your psyche than like
Yeah.
cities and crazy. Well, at least for mine, I couldn't. I would just be like, God, no, 5 seconds, and like, I can't even go out right now. It's Christmas time, and I'm literally like
Oh,
hibernating in my house. I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't even want to go to the pot pharmacy, by the way. We have medical marijuana in Utah. Yes, it's legal. Yes, I can smoke it. But I didn't even want to go there the other day to get my order. I'm like, I'm in public. It's Christmas time.
It's
Everybody's
Christmas
angry.
time.
I'm like, get me home, get me home, get me home, get me home. I'm like, ugh, I hate it. I just hate the atmosphere. Like, I don't want to come out till after the holidays when everybody stops being so freaking angry. I hate Christmas.
Same.
So there we go. Now people know a little bit about our goofy family.
Yes.
So there's your reading. So I'm gonna at least stop
Thank you.
recording.
Okay.
I'll let it